video is brought to you by our friends at privacy.com. Privacy is a tool that makes it super easy to protect your financial information online. You decide who charges your card, how much, and how often. If you like to shop online, Privacy protects your identity and bank information. Their service allows you to make a virtual card with just a click, and their browse extension automatically detects checkout fields on websites for a faster checkout. In addition to preventing credit card fraud, Privacy makes sure that you're never accidentally billed twice or upgraded to another service without your consent. It is by far the best way to sign up for free trials that require a card to be put down. No longer do you need to remember to cancel on time or worry about being billed for something you're not even using. So head to privacy.com/Chael Sonnen and sign up for an account. New customers will automatically get $5 to spend on your first purchase. Go to privacy.com/Chael Sonnen to protect yourself online and sign up now. Deontay Wilder's team has come out and they released an x-ray, they released an image of Deontay's broken hand. Now, that's an attempt to tell a story. The story that's being attempted to be told is we had a good fight, we put Tyson down a couple of times, we hung in there, and we did it a one-armed man in an ass-whipping contest. Very obvious, right? How do you feel about that? Is that interesting? Is that a way to lessen the embarrassment or the shame or the loss? I don't know that there needs to be any embarrassment or shame. It's a loss. You went into a fair adjudication. You got a fair result. I don't know that you need to do that, but it still exists to some degree. Does that lessen it for you, the viewer? Or do you look at the other way and go, my God, I knew that Tyson knocked you out. I knew he beat the hell out of you, but he also broke you? Is there a way, because it's your hand and you're the one that threw the punch and you were trying to do so much damage, is there a way that you're trying to untell the story that you're now also broken? If I was broken, you guys would never know it. This almost happened to me. I'll personalize this, but I ended up in an emergency room between weigh-ins and a fight. I was in the emergency room that night. I never said a word. Haven't said a word, still not going to tell you now. Won't tell you what fight it was, won't tell you what it was about. But a reporter out of Canada got a hold of it. And I agreed to do an interview with him. But we were live and he brought it up. I didn't know he had this. I did not know he was armed with this. So I'm getting calls from the athletic commissions. What's going on? How did you do this? I didn't have to disclose anything to them. I had to disclose to them prior to the weigh-in, and I did. There was no other form or no other discussion that I needed to do. And if I was to reveal that, I'm taken away from my opponent, who allegedly won. Intricacies within the rules, but they raised his hand. I'm trying to tell a story myself. The whole thing was weird, and it would have affected my pride greatly. But am I wrong? Am I wrong? Would have I been better off to say, here's what happened, and I was tough enough to walk out there and try, by golly, did I do it wrong? This just got done by an American wrestler named Kyle Dake. Kyle Dake is the best wrestler in the world, not my opinion. He's a three-time world champion. He goes to the Olympic Games, which is the exact same thing as a world championship that he's won 3 times. It's the same thing. Every 4th year they call it the Olympics. He gets beat. Something was off. I watched the match. I've seen Dake in training. I've seen him since he was 15 years old. That something was off. That wasn't him. He has never revealed that. And the media picked right up on it. We've got footage of him. We see him not being himself. We have the evidence. We just need him to verify it. He has refused to do it for 2 reasons. He doesn't want to take away from his opponent. That's unsportsmanlike. The other guy won fair and square in his mind. And he doesn't make excuses. I come from that same school of thought. And I've seen many fighters after the fact want to give you an injury list. And even in my own situation, which I've never spoke about, if I want to tell you before the fight, fine. But to tell you after the fight, would I tell you after I don't get the outcome that I wanted? I've seen many fighters do this. Tito got teased for years. He had a broken skull or whatever it is he claimed, but he doesn't tell you till after the fight where he got his ass whipped. Or Mike Tyson was famous for getting his ass whipped and then claiming, I have a broken back. Those things are interesting and they're relevant. You have a legal obligation to tell the commission, which you didn't do. You should have your license suspended. For one, which no commission's ever done. They should. And secondly, what's the point after the match? Does Conor McGregor get a pass for losing to Dustin because his leg broke? Or does Dustin get recognized that we're in a sport predicated on damage and I left you broken? I'm asking. I'm not answering it. I'm asking you guys, are you better off to make excuses? Should Kyle Dake not be as macho as he is? Should he come out and tell excuses? Do you think that Deontay Wilder losing to Tyson Fury but having a broken hand somewhere in the contest somehow pads the loss for Deontay, gets him closer to a rematch, takes any shine off of what he did? Because quite frankly, Deontay Wilder looked beautiful in that fight. He lost. Sometimes there's just a better fighter, right? I watched Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. Broke my heart. John was just a better fighter. Daniel did everything right and his stock rose. I think that's what happened with Deontay. I think a lot of people have a lot of respect for Deontay Wilder. And I think whoever within his team thought this was a good move, and you have to understand that that's his team. Deontay Wilder's never Instagrammed or .com'd anything. Deontay Wilder couldn't spell X-ray any more than he could tell you the number to 911. Somebody within his team that has the codes to his account thought it was a good idea to lessen the blow of the defeat in a very fair adjudication by saying he has a hand broke. I'm not going to let it slide. So it turns out, thanks to his team, with the evidence we now have, not only did Tyson Fury stop you, he also broke you. Thank you for the information.